Today we are going to transform judgments about ourselves into energy which is accessible for us today in a way we want to use it. The judgments about ourselves are a symptom which keep us small, which keep us not able to act, which keep us in dark feelings and thoughts. So how do we do that? We are using the NEUROGRAPHICA algorithm of S.C.O.R.E, and we are going to use and activate resources of the past, lead them to the symptom, and create a desired outcome. So be curious. It's an interesting project for sure. I'm going to use an A3 format because there will be a lot to draw. And today I'm also going to use the waterproof markers. It's good to have them like in different sizes, like small, a little bigger, and also the bigger ones for later on for the field lines. And I'm using those because I'm intending to use highlighters today. If I'm using the highlighters, I need waterproof markers. So let's start. We are going to start by activating the topic, writing down words in 2 minutes. By that, we activate our neural connections to our topic at this moment. So my topic is judgments about myself. I'm sure everybody is familiar with this topic. That's why I can suggest to choose the same topic. Judgments about ourselves are very common and limiting us in our daily life. So let's start. Judgments about myself. Yes, I'm sure you found some judgments, but I want to say something about that because like my darkest judgments about myself, I have been able to already like let go. But what I find is that everything like you learned is also like in your development coming back in some kind of spirals, like you're moving upwards, but thoughts still come back. Maybe, for example, the devaluating thoughts about yourself, they might not be as intense as before, but if they are there, then they want to be seen and they want to be released. So there are more layers, like, and that's why I decided to have this drawing. So I can read 3 of my most prominent judgments. I am not able, stupid, slow, and unlovable. So let's see how that transforms. So we are drawing. I suggest using a thinner marker at the beginning for the composition. So we are drawing a timeline first. Our timeline is a line which runs through the whole drawing, which is a neuroline and which is, for that reason, organically flowing into directions where we don't expect it to go. We let our hand flow. It's not supposed to repeat itself at any point. Feeling into that line. And it's moving from one side of the drawing to the other, representing time. So, and then we mark a point for today. So we want to work with today, past and future. So we need some space for the past, some space for the future. So I'm drawing today, like maybe here. And around that place of today, we create a shape for our symptom, judgments about ourselves. So I want it a little bit pokey because the judgments feel quite uncomfortable. So my judgments are a little bit, or let's say are a lot pokey, and I can feel them poke into my heart by drawing that. So my judgments are here. Judgments are not nice. They are not circles yet, because they are poking, like they contain a lot of energy, because the triangles always contain a lot of energy as well. But at this point, the energy is not going into the direction where I want it to go. So, and now I'm thinking about what has caused my judgments about myself in the past. So what has caused it? I know. I'm drawing a shape for my mother being mean. So I'm drawing a shape for my mother. It's also quite pokey. My mother being mean to me. She was really mean. She still is really mean. So right shape for my mother being mean. Make it pokey. So I guess this is one of the major causes, but I'm trying to find, I put it here because it was like just from the beginning of my life. So, but I want to think about other things as well, which could have caused my feeling of not able, too slow, too weak, not like others. Yes, that's also something, like my impression of meeting the outside world. Now I'm thinking about school times and having this experience of being different, feeling different, not fitting in, and also not wanting to fit in. So I'm different. I put that here. Today I don't feel that it's a problem. I love that actually, but still, obviously, it's somehow affecting me. I have another very pokey shape here for I am different, which I love, but obviously I have not accessed the energy yet. So, and I see that I don't have much more space here. So if you have your shape smaller, or if you feel you need to add more, you can also add it at some other point and we connect them to the timeline. So I have to feel, do I have another cause which led me to these conclusions? Yes, I have another cause which is comparing myself to others. So I will put it somewhere here. Comparing myself to others. Also, I cannot make any circles here yet. Comparing myself to others. It's also very big, very interesting. So I find like a center for this shape and I connect it to my timeline. I also find centers of my mother's shape and the shape of being different. I want to write down as well what these shapes mean. I recommend that to you. I make some kind of small note here. So that's my symptom. And then I have my mother being mean. Then I have being different, being literally different. From my school days. And I have something which, yeah, like in between this, which is comparing. So, yes, so we have quite a lot of interesting shapes here now. Before I move on, I'm going to access the energy of these causes now. And I want to make, first I want to make my timeline more visible. It will dissolve otherwise. I take a little bit bigger marker and go over my timeline again. This is past. Now this is future. So I want to go over it again. It's flowing like waves. So what I do now? Now I'm going to draw harmonious shapes around all these pokey shapes. So I start with that because that feels most prominent for me. That's this comparing myself to others. And I mark that center as well, because they are always connected to our, like, ourselves, because we make that prominent in our perception. So, and I have this pokey shape here, and I start drawing, combining all these edges, drawing a roundish shaped circle around it, creating a harmonious shape here. It can happen that you'll feel a lot of resistance doing that, because this habit of whatever you chose there cause in the past, I hope you chose your own causes in the past, it is so familiar to you that it might be difficult, it might feel difficult to let it go. So that was my first. And I'm also drawing a circle-like shape around my symptom. I want to use this energy harmoniously in my life. And I'm doing like going around that circle with neuro lines to feel into that new energy as long as needed. So the next shape is being different, which I always thought it's not a problem, but as you can see here, it looks like a problem, because what is not a problem is not pokey. So it goes somewhere here. Find the pokey edges and draw a harmonious roundish shape around, and feel into your body what is happening. Like, I feel my heart beating, a little bit scared. Am I allowed to do that? Can I change my impressions just like that? Isn't that dangerous to do something new? I also perceive cold feet for some reason. Now I want to start. I have the urge to do the first rounding here. We'll have to do a lot of rounding. I have to do a lot of rounding. I'm sure you also have. So we are rounding carefully, especially the pokey parts of our shapes, because the pokey things, all the edges, are the ones which causing us pain, and we want to make them smooth and comfortable. So we are connecting all the segments to each other. We are creating smooth intersections. You will find your way of doing that. Think of rivers flowing into each other, or even roads, which are usually not that organic, but still they are having some kind of connections that you can go smoothly around the corners. And that's what we're doing here. We're creating connections. I'm working at the moment at my symptom here. You can work at any part of the drawing, because we will do that for any part, for every part. And it's always necessary to feel where we are, like on which part of the drawing we are ready to work on. Like, I haven't worked on my mother there, and that's okay. Her time will come. I'm connecting to the timeline as well. And I'm feeling these energies of the past. Like, basically I'm feeling kind of excitement. You can also, like, you can have all like images come up from these times. It's very valuable. Write them down if you have insights. And if you feel physical reactions, they might be an alarm signal of your body that you're doing something new, which is actually a very good sign, because you want to change your impressions on judging yourself, devaluating yourself. And if you have done that for a long time, it's so common that our brain feels that that's the natural state. And that's why you might get some symptoms. You might get some headaches, for example. And then you check how much you can do at once. You can also stop the video and watch later. Do something nice for you if it's getting bad. Breathe. Carefully connect to what you're doing. Tell your body that it's okay, that you're creating a change. Have a break, drink something. And carefully work on rounding, add some lines where they are needed. When you feel you want to have some lines, you connect them. For me, I feel it's just the right topic. Obviously, because I also chose that topic, it's easy for me. Hope you can relate to your topic as well. If you chose the same topic or another one, it's obviously always, it makes sense to choose the topic which resonates with you. But I guess you wouldn't have chosen the topic if it wouldn't resonate with you, because otherwise you wouldn't like to draw on that. And as I said, judgments about ourselves are very common. Many people have experienced devaluating comments during like that time when they were growing up, and like not so many people have been encouraged and lovingly supported in their childhood and in their development. So we develop judgments about ourselves. Like if we are treated badly, that must be our fault. And we keep on doing that even without noticing that. We do that. Noticing that we do that, listening to ourselves, telling mean things to ourselves is the first step to bring this to the light. First step to doubt them. Is that really true? Do I want to think like that about myself? Do I want to repeat that again and again and make it more and more engraved in my brain that it's really like that? I'm not able, I'm not lovable, I'm not capable. Do I want to think that? And if you're aware of that, you can start doing something about that. You can, for example, if you realize that you're doing that, you can decide to say something nice instead. Well, you may also believe already. And no, maybe I'm brave. I'm capable of managing life my own way. Whatever. And you can also decide to make a drawing. To really change your imprints on a very sustainable way. Because once you have really invested time and energy and felt into this process while drawing, it won't ever be the same, I promise. And the deeper rooted your habits are of, for example, devaluating yourself, the more work it affords, obviously. But every time, on a gentle way, like we will come deeper, and we will always go as deep as it's possible at this moment, so we don't overwhelm ourselves with new impressions. If we get a really bad headache, if we have symptoms of resistance, physical systems, we are nice to ourselves. We will look at that and don't force ourselves to do it in this moment. Just go as far as you are ready at this moment. So obviously you only pick the topics which you are ready to work on, and also these causes. Like my mother was a very painful experience, and I realize now I don't even want to busy myself with her. Like I have worked a lot on that, and she doesn't have that much of influence on me anymore, but still I feel like don't want to spend any energy with her anymore. But she appeared here as a cause, which is quite understandable. I guess she is even the main cause. Like if I would have a loving mother which would have supported me being different in society, then obviously I wouldn't have to draw that topic when I am 50. But she was not supportive. She was counter supportive. For example, in my perception of being different, I have a very strong memory. When I was 8 years old, I felt really bad about that. I'm not like others. I don't fit in, don't feel comfortable with others. and I voiced that to my mother, because obviously I didn't have anyone else to voice that to. And her reaction was, if everybody else is strange for you, that cannot be true. It must be you who is strange. She literally said that. And I didn't, like, it didn't resonate with me. Like I didn't ever tell her anything again, because I felt like, no, she should have said something else, like, it's okay, like, how you are fine, it's great to be different because you have something to give to the world. If everybody is same, it's boring. So do you know what see what's happening here? So I'm saying to myself what I would have loved her to say. So this is part of the process here. So, but she didn't say that. And although I knew that she was wrong in what she was saying, it was at the same time engraved in my image of myself. I'm sure many of you can relate to that. Please leave a comment if you can relate to that. What is your experience? Why are you interested in drawing that? Judgments about myself, what are your causes? What did you explore? Now we are adults and we are able to choose our own reality. And for that, to be really able to live our own reality, we need to get these old experiences to the surface and write a new concept for our brain, like, and we engrave new perceptions, new options of believing with every line we are drawing here. I'm getting quite excited telling you that, because how great is that, to get these devaluating thoughts even more out of myself, and to by that way have more access to my own being, to my own energy, to what wants to come to the world through me. Because yes, I am different, and that's my quality. As long as I feel that's a problem, then I cannot do, and because I cannot see what it is what wants to come through the world to me. So we stop making ourselves small. Access our energy, which we need to do what we came here for. To have an idea, to have a glimpse of that, even if we know what it is, and we cannot start because we are in our own ways with our thoughts, and we cannot do it. So we are preparing our own path. And yes, dear mother, look at that. I am harmonizing you here. All your pokey, mean comments, thoughts, negative way of thinking, looking at the world, all your negativity, which is was still until right now affecting myself, because otherwise I couldn't have drawn that. And all of them I am connecting here nicely. Yes, look at that. It feels very relieving. It feels completely transformed. I have some kind of edges here, but they will go in a second. We'll do something else. I need to exhale. Take some deep breaths. I feel some physical reaction in my liver. I guess I always have that. So I have some stored energies there, and I want to also be nice to my liver and to let it transform there. Let get all these memories, stored memories, physically stored memories, also get shaken loose. And for that I can use my breath. I feel it's a deep process here, and it's also a deep going algorithm. So my timeline has almost dissolved. I want to make it visible again. Now I use a very big marker. So the timeline is, where is it actually? Maybe here. Going here, we'll still need it for the future. Yes, because now we are drawing a shape for the outcome in the future. Like this is the symptom. And if we transform the symptom as we do now, we will draw an outcome. And I have, at this point, my outcome is like this big, and it's feeling quite harmonious and circular already. Oh, very comfortable it feels. It feels it will be me in the present moment. And my energy is accessible, very much accessible. Presence in the moment. Love that. It's visible. It can have any shape, it can have any size, which is right for you. Now we'll do more with that. It's just we make it visible here, the outcome, and I will name that here, and presence in the moment. My energy 100% accessible. Yeah, like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. See. Have more rounding to do here now because my timeline grew. Make it nicely integrated again. At all the intersections, I work on rounding again, connect to the time's flow, connect to this energy of the past. Now be prepared, we'll do some more magic. we are creating magic. It's not magic. We are creating new states which really feel magical, because usually we were never able to picture these kind of states. So that's, if we create that change, it truly feels magical. But it's explainable. It's connected to our neurons, to our memories, to, oh, look at that, I have still a lot of pokey stuff here. So now we need a pin marker again, and we'll do more activation, although I already feel quite activated, but I want to do that with you now. We'll start from the center of, like, let's say our first cause, and we'll draw lines in that shape, neural lines, and we are collecting energy of that by drawing a lot of lines everywhere. Don't worry, you don't need to connect them later. We are drawing activating lines. All the shitty experiences, all the shitty stuff is now transformed to neutral energy, which is accessible here. And we are accessing it even more by drawing these lines, going through the whole shape, and then we are drawing it on our timeline to our present symptom. Until it feels enough. You can do that for a long time. You can do that. Depends on your way of working. So you can stop the video and do it as long as you feel it's right. And whenever you feel the urge of transporting the energy there, do that. It's coming to the symptom here now, charging our symptom with energy. And then we'll take one more cause and do the same thing there. Comparing myself to others has already transformed by rounding, and I'm accessing this energy now by drawing neural lines. I'm activating that shape. And I also do the same. I lead the energy to my symptom. Charge it and charge it and charge it more and more. So I hope you also took a big paper, because it's quite a lot of things which we are placing here. So now I want the I am different energy. Yes, I am different. Come on, that's great. Don't want to be like everybody. I just want to find out who I am and what is I have to give to the world. It does not matter whatever everybody else is doing. It's not my business at all. Don't look at that. Don't look at what everybody else is doing. How boring is that? Create your own life. I'm creating my own life. It's getting a lot of energy. No, it's not going back. It's going from here, always in this direction, so don't go back. We're taking the energy from that, whatever causes we have, we lead it through the timeline, along the timeline, and then spreading it here. So it feels like a very highly concentrated ball of energy here at the moment. So what do you feel? Are you content? What does your body say? Are you like in motion? Most probably you are. I feel emotion, and we have more things to do. It's a very interesting and very powerful algorithm. So now we find resources. We have resources. So, and we draw shapes for resources, maybe up there and maybe here, but not all the place because we need one more. Maybe we draw our resources up here somewhere. So I want to draw courage. And I want to make it a square. I draw courage here. This is a big resource. This is actually one of the only things I could admit to myself that I have courage. I want to draw courage here, and since it's big, it's overlapping. Doesn't matter. I'm choosing a square because for me this is a stable thing. It always was there and it is still there and I love it. So I draw courage. And I'm also finding its center. And I connect it to my center, which has already transformed. So courage. And then what else? Yeah, I have one more thing which I want to place here, which is also big. Doesn't fit on the paper. So this is a circle, or at least part of it a circle. One of my resources I want to use here is, can't even mark the center, but is my creativity. What is that? Creativity. Being creative. So, and I'll draw a line to here as well. Creativity. That's a big resource I have. Courage and creativity. Great. So make your resources visible. What are your resources? Write in the comments. What do you discover? Usually, or sometimes we feel we don't have any, but we all have resources. You can have patience, endurance, whatever, visionary thinking, empathy, tons of stuff. If you think about it and you'll be honest to yourself, you will discover resources in yourself, I'm sure. So We're also connecting those. Creativity. And this is courage. Connecting to the system where it meets other lines. Work on integration, rounding carefully. And if you notice something coming up like impatience, new devaluating thoughts, write them down. Ask yourself, is that true? And know that our brain is worried when we create change. So if you want to create change, be prepared for your brain being worried, trying to keep you on the paths, on the familiar paths. But if you want your change, don't listen to that. Be kind. You can hear it, but you don't have to listen to that. Take your own decision. I am creating my change, although it feels uncomfortable at the moment, because I know I want it. Beautiful. So now my shapes are quite empty still. That's why I'm connecting them with lines. I am drawing neurolines. Wherever they feel right to appear. And I'm working on the connections again. Nicely working on the connections. For now, we're staying within the shapes we created, activating the lines, activating the energy of the shapes with lines. And I feel in myself, in my chest, it's really tingling, and I need to go for a long paddle ride, I guess, today. I have a new hobby. I'm learning how to go paddling, and I'm brave, meeting new people, learning something new. It also felt quite scary, like everything we do at the moment, which is new, feels scary, and our brain says, don't do it. It also said, don't go to this course, don't go there, come on, it's of no use. Stay at home, do what you always do. And I was honestly tempted to listen to that, but I didn't. Because I was making myself aware that I want to learn that, want to be in nature, I love water, I want to also get to know some people, not urgently, but like once in a while. It's nice, especially since I'm trying to learn the language of the country where I'm living in. So it's also of some use to speak the language once in a while, to meet people, and all these things, like all these reasons you have for doing something new, you can make yourself aware of when your brain tells you not to do it, not to bring about the change. Do you want to keep your devaluating thoughts, your judgments? No, obviously you don't. So overcome resistance, laziness, negative thoughts about the process, about yourself. You might feel your drawing is ugly, you don't do it right, it's not right, you do everything right, everything is great. You're doing exactly what is to be done for you in this moment. And you're creating this kind of change which is possible for you at this moment. So I feel very content with the shapes of my resources. I feel there's no more space for more resources, although maybe there would be space here. So I'm just thinking, do I want to add more resources? Yeah, I have one more thing I want to add actually. It's overlapping. So my drawing, my paper could have been bigger even. What I have is consistency as well. I can work on things for a long time and don't give up. So I want another square for that. Consistency. I'm fond of creating some resources because I always think I don't have any. Consistency, courage, and creativity. Yes, nice. So consistency, connected to here. So don't worry if the shapes are overlapping, it doesn't matter. You will work on it with colors in a moment. And they are all in real life, it's the same. Like everything is overlapping, is interacting. That's just how it is. Consistency. I can work on things consistently. Sometimes too consistently. Like for example, when I did my studies, I sticked to them although I didn't want to do it and it didn't feel right and it never felt right working in that field. So consistency can also be misused like everything else. So everything you do too much is poisonous, even consistency. But I can also acknowledge that consistency is something I need. For example, to grow my YouTube channel, to become visible, to become able to offer my abilities, to my wisdom, whatever wants to come through me. So in this case, now I feel consistency is a good quality, which I have developed well. Nice. So now I want to activate all of those, taking a thin marker, start with my consistency. I feel attracted by that, drawn to that, feel happy to have discovered that. Yeah, I have a resource of consistency. How great is that? I'm leading it to my symptom. My symptom is gaining more energy, and I want to activate it more, make it visible to my brain. There is consistency. It's a good thing. It doesn't have to lead to something I don't want. It can lead me to where I want it, like where I want to go. So it doesn't have to be like it was in the past, leading to outcomes which I don't like. It will lead to an outcome which I like. Consistency, leading to my system. Nice. Courage. Courage. I hope you're enjoying activating your resources. I'm sure you found your resources. Be sure to post your resources in the comments. Which resources did you discover? It's very nice to develop that habit to discover your own resources. We are usually quite used to discovering like our lacks and our limitations, but where are our resources? They can give us the energy we need. Courage, more courage. Courage is a great thing. Courage made me travel when I was young, made me explore the world, made me see that it's bigger than what my mean mother thought. I was always safe, and it was the right thing to do. I left the country. It's also the right thing to do. Found my new home, found my one and only home country. Taking my own decisions is my resource because I am courageous. And now still being creative is also something I really like. Activate that. Cannot activate the whole thing, but the whole thing's energy will also come into that drawing. Although it's not visible, that doesn't matter. Our drawings are always one part of reality only. So reality is extending everywhere beyond our drawings, so we don't have to worry if something is not fitting on it. So people, now we have done a lot of work, collected our resources, collected the energy of the past, of the causes. We have drawn our outcome, and now we will lead the energy, all the collected energy here to this outcome. So we will gain that energy from here and lead it to our outcome. So all the energy is flowing enjoy that process. All that energy is flowing out of this vessel here, which was our symptom, and it's transforming and filling our outcome with its energies. It can also become more visible with taking that bigger marker, activating our outcome with all this energy collected here. You can go back to it. Don't go back to it. You collect the energy here, and then you'll go feels like waves and feels like really nice to access all these energies here. And I want to make my outcomes shape more visible. It can also grow if it's smaller, if you feel like if you drew a small outcome and you have all this energy here and you lead it there, it can grow as big as you need it. And if we are drawing shapes, we are always using abstract shapes. So we are not using like a shape of a flower, for example, that has a reason, because abstract shapes contain the energies in a way that we don't limit them to something we associate with. If I'm drawing a flower here because I like flowers, then I might limit myself to something completely different which I don't associate with flowers, but which is contained in this outcome. So if I'm using a neutral shape, for example, this harmonious shape of a circle, I can make sure that I also invite the unexpected. And it contains the unexpected, the unknown. It contains what my brain is not yet able to picture like that. So that's why we don't use shapes which are already defined to a certain meaning. I don't want to limit my outcome. I want it open. I want it to contain all the possibilities. I want it to be filled by universal love and wisdom's guidance. And as you see, I'm now working on integrating some of the lines to create an organic flow, to create contentment for myself, so you don't have to round all the tiny lines, but you'll find some organic flow, like where your lines will connect and create like a single system. So, I was busy with my thoughts, thinking of my business, thinking about all the creative flow which already started today, what I'm going to do like persistently and with joy. Now, since I discovered the direction of my joy, my abilities, and I can follow it persistently. And I'm doing that. I'm meeting all of you beautiful people. I feel I can deliver value to you because I found this great method and I decided to be an expert in that. And I find that's something I want to share with you because it's so extremely valuable, and it also fits my need to be creative, and it also allows me to create my own reality, be free, get rid of my limitations. So it's a very great and exciting tool. And I'm really happy that I can share that with all of you, and it makes me content. So if that is our field line, this timeline, I want to make sure that I make it kind of it's the same size everywhere, so to allow the flow of the divine come through my drawing, especially along the field line or the field lines. You can create more. It's always recommended to create 2 to 5 in a drawing. In this drawing now I'm drawing the timeline visible because it's the natural like foundation of that drawing. And I'm not sure whether I create more, but maybe I will at a later state. Now I want to integrate that timeline again, since it grew in size. If I have a strong river like that, river of energy, of divine love, wisdom, guidance, I make sure that I will access this energy by having smooth intersections. Let it flow everywhere. If you don't believe in divine guidance yet, it might be difficult for you to create field lines, as I discovered with one of my clients who always had like the feeling not to create any visible lines, field lines, and can be connected to that old or to an old idea of I have to do myself, there is nothing beyond me, I cannot rely on anyone. I don't know, that can be different things. So, but just in case you feel some resistance drawing field lines, that could be an issue. So we'll add one more element and then we are ready with our composition. You see it's in complex composition here. I will show you my drawing in a minute as well. Like, I can show it as well now. But still something is not finished, so it's very much going on. And I'm sure your drawings are also busy. So now we'll think about effects of our outcome. So if my outcome is presence in the moment, accessibility of my energies, I know one of the effects is, for me to be in that state, is, I'll draw it big because I love that, withdrawal. It's withdrawal from people, city, to-dos, from outer necessities. Haha, look at that. It's a very big circle, withdrawal. Like, this is my, it's even much bigger than that outcome. Withdrawal. I need to withdraw to access all these energies. Connect this effect to my outcome. Withdrawal. And I'm thinking of, do I want to draw something like sharing? And I want, but I need to draw it in a different way in a minute. So this outcome is presence in the moment, access to my energy. And this needs withdrawal as an effect. I actually see a house somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Which feels really nice. Maybe my son wouldn't be that excited, but I am. I've seen that already, or I feel that already for a while, that it is kind of my part of my next step. So withdrawal. Do I have any more effects? Like, effect can be something like negative or positive. Like negative could be like, for example, if I have this withdrawal here, so it could be negative for everybody who wants to be in interaction with me, for example. But it will suit the topic. So I'm thinking of other effects. Being present in the moment. Spiritual practices. Meditation, connecting to universal love and wisdom. So they are effects in both ways. Like nourishing and also, yeah. Spiritual practices. Withdrawal. I want to draw one more thing, but I'm not sure how to draw it at the moment. It's giving out. I will draw a circle for that. An effect of that is giving out. If I'm very good with me, I can give out and I want to give out. So giving out will come here. It's also intersecting, as you see. Giving out. Powerful drawing for me. How do you feel? Do you find effects? Giving out. Need to work on connections, intersections, rounding. And I need to write down my composition more clearly. So I have giving out. I have withdrawal. I have spiritual practices. And my resources, I had courage, consistency, and creativity. So this is kind of my composition. In case of when I forget, I can check that. I mean, you don't have to consciously be aware of all this all the time, because it is engraved as a new experience and as a set of interacting energies in your brain by drawing this. Still, sometimes I like to, or I ask myself, what was that circle? And if I forgot, I can check it at the back. So you are invited to do the same if you feel it necessary. You can also write it in your notebook, make it accessible to you. I'm combining the so you can be aware of that your drawing can take a lot more time. We have been drawing 1 hour and 20 minutes now. We are not finished as well, but don't hurry with your drawings. Take your time, be very cautious with every line. Like I myself have already drawn a lot of drawings. If you are new, it will take more time, and it is very nice to take your time to draw your changes. And it can take a lot of time. Always remember that it also took a lot of time to develop the thoughts which you're now intending to change. Judgments about yourself, for example: I'm too stupid, too slow, incapable. you have been practicing them all your life, most probably. So what is it that you are impatient on finishing your drawing fast? No need to do that fast. The slower, actually, the more effective, in my experience, because you can allow yourself to go deep with your feelings as well. So, and the aim and the goal is to create one interactive, one system, and therefore we keep on working on rounding, integration, making our intersections organic. That's one of the most effective ways NEUROGRAPHICA works. So now I'm activating this circle here, which is giving out as an effect of being nicely in my own energy. Giving out. And giving out, like we activate the effects as well, like from their own shape, and we lead the energy to our outcome as well. So we are, like, my giving out is also coming back to me, nourishing my being present in the moment in my own energy. Giving out nourishes that. Isn't that a nice thing? I like that. So I'm doing the same thing now for the effects, filling up my outcome. And we do that as long as we feel it's necessary. So I'm going to leave it here. Lots of lines here today. And the more lines, the more engraved in your brain is the new impression you create. As you see, this is also moving on to the future. So the whole thing is interactively connected to the future experiences. I mean, this is already future and going on as well. A lot of nice connections here. Resources of the past are connected. Everything is being connected nicely here. Wherever I want my connections stronger, I make them stronger. And wherever I feel the lines can flow without the connections, like the thinner lines, they can also be like that. So make sure that your markers are fresh and you can use them nicely. I have one which is working quite nice here. Enjoy that. And I'm really actually looking forward to apply my colors soon. Although I have already gained tons of energy. Yes! Withdrawal! Yeah! Withdrawal! Nature! Middle of nowhere! My own small little hut in the middle of nowhere. I favor this. Where are you? Don't spend the time in the city. I'm living in a city. It's just close by the sea, but still it's a city. I am craving for silence and for withdrawal and for the energy of nature. Guess I have to think about that. Can be also maybe some holiday home. I guess it can be. That's easy to find. Withdrawal. Whoa, I want more withdrawal energy here. Make this flow here. A pity that I cannot draw it here everywhere. But I get access this energy on this part of the drawing. I can draw. Get more energy here and put it here. Withdrawal, and I'm trusting that all this energy of this whole withdrawal is also being constantly flowing here. And of course as well my spiritual practice, meditation, yoga. I also consider the paddling thing as a spiritual practice. You have to be at the moment, in the moment. You're connecting with nature, with your own energy, with your abilities, with being in the moment. If you're not, you'll be in the water and not in the boat. So all kind of spiritual practices, also nourishing this outcome. So people, how do you feel? What is your state at the moment? My state feels light, I feel flowing, I feel connected, I feel enthusiastic, positive, confident, right, excited. Yoo-hoo! So now I had some break to stretch, and you can do that whenever you need. Get up, move your body, drink something and come back. So now what we do before coloring, we connect the whole system to the outside world by drawing neural lines. So we and our topics are always part of an outside world, part of a field, part of everything that is, and we make that visible by drawing lines to the outside world, wherever we feel they need to be placed. So and I'm also connecting the shapes to each other here, for example, and maybe here as well. Since I have a lot of action here on my paper and lots of big shapes, so not so much space left, but it is enough to make my brain see that see and experience that everything is connected to the outside world. So here I can make some lines, create lines over here, and remember it's always neural lines, no straight lines, no rectangles in any of our drawings, except for if you have the squares, but the squares will be also integrated with neural lines activated, so all the neural lines are organic flowing lines. And all shapes, all the states, all the issues, all our experiences are always connected to everything that is, to the outside world, to the seemingly outside world, to the surroundings, to universal love and wisdom. We are not separate parts at all. Here, some connections possible still. Connecting those, and also connecting it to somewhere here. So this is the first step of accessing the energy of the field, which will be in a minute even more active by using colors. So I'm very eager to use colors. I want my outcome to be dark blue. So I choose the darkest blue I have here, which is not very dark blue, but still. I can add some dark blue later, my pencils. I want my outcome blue. Deep water, stability, trust, presence. And I'm coloring as much as I need of my outcome, and I see and I feel that I need my whole outcome to be visible in blue, and therefore I make it visible in blue. So in NEUROGRAPHICA we use colors. Make sure that they are transparent, that you can see the lines still, and make sure that you're coloring at least 2 segments. And you're always going like we don't color one segment by one segment, we are going over the segments. We're creating new connections and systems. We don't create separation. And we use the colors which are serving our purpose and adding energy to the shapes which we want there. So I want the energy of blue, which stands for stability for me, deep water, knowledge, wisdom, my own strengths, connected to universal love and wisdom at all times, unshakable presence in the moment, undoubted being. So, great, love that. And yeah, you decide for your shapes how you want to use the colors. Like for example here, I can also create a flow of energy without emphasizing on the old shapes anymore. I can just use the energy here. I might do that. But for me, it's the next thing to color is my creativity, which I want to be in a beautiful light pink color, providing me with warmth of fire, the warmth of yang fire. This is what I want to have in my drawing here. It's symbolizing this resource of creativity. And it feels really warm in my heart. Like that. And this withdrawal will become a beautiful green color. Is that my beautiful green color? Or is it, I have to check which color it will become. Or maybe this one. I think it is the darker green. The withdrawal color. And withdrawal for providing energy to my being active in myself. Very beautiful. So no need to color your shapes as I do. There are lots of different ways of doing it, but remember, you don't color individual segments. And we create areas which are connecting to each other. We don't create separation. So that's why we also avoid these colors to be very I have forgot the word. Like we don't make individual strokes, but we try to make the colors one organic system. So, and if your pen, like mine, is a little bit overwhelmed, you might go over it in a minute when it recovers again to create this integrated impression more. So this fits my need, and I can see this big thing here. I can see myself in the forest. I can see myself in the hut in the forest, recharging and gaining energy of the nature for creating this present state of presence. So spirituality, spiritual practice become purple. This is symbolizing spirituality for me. And this is overlapping here. So colors naturally can mix. This giving out color. Maybe that one. A scary color, but I think this is the right color. So giving out has the color of this insane orange for me. Beware, being in my presence, in my energy, connected, through withdrawal. I will be sharing, giving out. Be sure you subscribe to my channel because I will be unstoppable from now. There will be tons of creative input. I can feel it. And it already started. Check it out. Check out what I already did, because I already connected to some of these energies. This is also overlapping. And make it overlap. Although I'm not a fan of this color, I feel that this color is just the right one to use to make myself aware of this giving out energy and its beauty. It's really the right thing. So it's overlapping here. I don't need to make it overlap like with the color, but I feel that it's the right thing to do here. So, using these markers, like these highlighters, always gives some kind of firework of colors in my drawings, which I intended to have. That's why I chose those today. And afterwards I sometimes feel like, oh, I would not have ever drawn it that way. But then the funny thing is, obviously I had drawn that myself exactly that way. But it's kind of a different state in which this is drawn. So I wonder, this needs to be really red now, but I don't have a red highlighter, so I need to take my pencil because I feel this is red. Now I feel it needs to be support it with red energy here. Yes, that's just the right red. So make sure you use the colors which are meeting your needs. You can feel that. What is the color you need? And if you have a limited amount of colors, then take the color which resonates the most of the colors which you have there at the moment. So, mood, courage. Consistency needs the color which is not there as well. It needs some brown for me. Consistency is some kind of brownish color here for me. For some reason. So you can mix whatever you have and whatever meets your needs. So we'll be drawing around max half an hour still. I'm planning like 2.5 hours for one drawing maximum, although this is for these purposes, so it's not for everyone the same as I told you. So if your topic is really difficult for you, it might take a long time. Also if you start drawing, if you face a lot of resistance, it takes a long time. So it depends on most. So you cannot always say that in 2.5 hours you will be finished, but I say that at least 2.5 hours are needed to progress on your topic. And it's also nice to finish your topic in your way. So it might also take 5 hours. Doesn't matter, as I told you. It's about the process and not about the time it takes. So this feels right, nice for the consistency. Stable and consistent here. Courage. Want some happy color. Some happy light color. Yes. Courage wants to be visible as well. We start out by trying where will it go? Will it overlap or not? At this moment I don't feel it is overlapping, but I feel it's the right color. And I make my shapes visible. My resources are visible here. Nicely already. Like them. So I'm drawing fast now, but I know, like I remember when I started, it took a long time. So I'm wondering how to color these. And I think I just start out with a color, like I have some kind of yellow feeling, and see like where it leads me. So how much yellow is needed here? Where is it going? No necessity to make all the shapes individually completely visible. So I feel that there will be some new connections here between the shapes, and this is also how we color often in NEUROGRAPHICA. We create new shapes with the color, especially if there's something you want to, like in the algorithm for removing limitations, if you want to dissolve something in the background, create new things with the color. So I feel that's really suitable here, because this is kind of the old stuff. It can be reformed to something new, and I'm checking out like where my colors want to go. So, and here we're drawing over the lines, more down here, more down here, connecting with the field here. That's very nice, getting the flow of this yellow here. Divine flow. Yeah, that feels nice, and I want some different shade of yellow, which I include here, just as it feels nice and right. At least 2 segments, preferably larger shapes. So yes, here. They can feel the energy of the colors adding up to all the lines which I created. Invite you to like feel into your body. How does it feel? Do you feel energetic? Do you feel calm? Do you feel doubting? Do you feel at this state, actually it's difficult to feel doubting usually, because you have added such a lot of energy, but maybe you do. So whatever is there, it's just right, and it is needed to be accepted as well as it is. So one more color here. And if we have some colors in the background, like the white, which might stay white, it's also needed to check that it's not one single white cell which will be remaining. So here, for example, I colored that, and then I'll have these still connected, these are connected, these are connected, these are connected, but here is one single cell, so I will use some of my blue here and spread it. Create the connection. And so now I'm checking, where do I want more, or some other color, like here maybe. Yeah, I feel that it needs to spread to the environment, and I'm drawing it blue with the same color. So I'm having this flow here of energies through the whole thingy. And now what happened, I also created something here, one single cell. I don't want to leave it. So now I'm having a flow here, and I'm not going to color the rest because white is also adding its energy. It's also a color, obviously. So I saw something I want to connect here as well. So I work on rounding a little bit wherever I feel I want to do that now. Yes, here for example. I have one field line here. And I feel I want to have another one which might be a little bit thinner because I want this to be the prominent one, but I want to have another one which might be coming somewhere from here. So check out whether you have some inspiration to add lines that invite the divine to your drawing even more than with every other line. We're inviting the divine with the field lines, attempting to make the line as like the same thickness everywhere. I want it to assist my giving out and my being in the present moment, in my energies. My spiritual practices can be well assisted by the divine. So this is my second field line, and I'm working on integrating it. Some more lines, some line is appearing here. So if it's disturbing you that I'm talking about my own topics here while drawing, that I can recommend you doing something like watch the video first without drawing, and then when you know like how it's to be done, you watch it a second time, or you just do it without me talking, because I am always like confused if people are talking while I want to be drawing my own things. Like you need to find your own shapes and your own meanings, so I can relate to that it's difficult while I'm talking. But on the other hand, obviously I need to be talking because I need to share how it's being done. And I might personally love to learn by example, so that's why I'm sharing my whole process there. No matter what. So I feel that was really needed, that field line. Just the right decision. So over here, This is a little bit thin here. Connecting. Take your time deciding where you want your field line to integrate it into the flow. So I see another one which is kind of coming from here, so I'm just using that now. I can go through the whole. I'm gonna go here. Yeah, I guess it will even go down there. The intersections need to be like kind of carefully done. But here it's going down there, so all the way through the drawing. This is the third one. And so there's no need to fulfill any number. You need to just find out which one is like needed in your drawing. So this is another one. The crossing field lines are sometimes a little bit difficult to manage, but nevertheless important to draw. As I said, I want my timeline to be the prominent one, so these will not be that big. They are also neuro lines. So I am content with my field lines now. I have one here, I have one here, and I have my whole timeline. And now I want to decide on my fixing shape, which contains the solution. And I am a little bit in between two decisions, either to take my outcome or to take this beautiful shape of giving out. But now I'm quite, speaking about it, I'm sure now that it makes sense to take the outcome, because giving out is an effect of that. So I will use my big marker and draw a visible line around my outcome to make it my fixing shape. It contains the solution, my inner state of presence, my ability to act from this state. And I make that visible by a big line, as a wide line. And I will also do something about the color inside. Ah, yeah, I have a very good idea how I do that color thing now. So first, I am integrating the outline of my fixing shape through the whole system again. Whenever we change the lines' thicknesses, we need to make sure that the lines are integrating to all the intersections. So I get ones around my shape, my fixing shape now. I need another pen. Feel the need to make the shapes, outlines a little bit more visible as well. What happened here? And here one more. Yes, maybe that one. A little bit. Wow. And I make the outlines of the whole thing here. Make it one shape, which is giving the whole energy there. So beautiful. Haven't finished my integration here yet. My fixing shape. Make sure you use the pen which is serving you most, like the thickness. Sometimes it needs to be a little bit thicker, sometimes like I'm using the pen which is a little bit in between thicknesses here. And look at that, here's some kind of energy stored, kind of flow here from here. So, and here as well, make some connection all around, inside and outside the affixing shape. Beautiful drawing, people. Please make sure that you post your drawings under my Facebook group, Draw Yourself Free, so we can all connect there and you can see the drawings of other people. And I also post my drawing there. Draw Yourself Free using NEUROGRAPHICA as a tool. That's my Facebook group. Yeah, so I discovered now that the overlapping of the purple and the light blue creates exactly that dark blue which I want here. That's why I'm using my purple now to go over it and create that dark blue which I like to be in here. So it also tells me that this being in the moment is strongly connected to my spiritual practice and my spiritual being. I wonder whether there is a dark blue marker available. Most probably is somewhere. I will check it out because dark blue is very needed for me. It's the color of the element of water. Water is the element in which I am presently at this stage of my life. And I guess that's why it's appearing more and more in my drawings. And it's giving me this very focused, in the moment feeling, which I'm striving for. And yeah, I check it out where to get exactly this color marker. Fit my needs. Yeah, but this is getting very much into the direction which I want. Mix of blue and purple, dark blue. I also see some purple which is not disturbing at all. It's beautiful. Let's see what happens when I add some more of the blue here. It's getting better and better. So, did you decide on your affixing shape? Make it the shape which is outstanding. This is containing the solution. It's containing for your brain to see clearly, this is where we are now. This is our state. Not even the desired state. This is the created state now. I don't even think I need that color here anymore. But I'm applying some of the dark blue pencil here, which is not visible because it's already nicely dark blue. So, what do you think? Is my affixing shape outstanding and most visible to you? For me, everything leads to that, and this is exactly what it's supposed to do. Yeah. So I was working on integrating, I was working on beautifying my affixing shape, and everything looks quite ready at the moment, although we could also do some style if I want to beautify the elements more. I can try that, well, how it feels, whether I want that. For example, I can try applying some shades at the edges of my circles, makes it more three-dimensional. That's usually a nice thing. Bring the shapes to life. Actually, I feel my shapes are quite alive because of that. These strong colors. But still, I will apply some shading for the style step. This is the step where we bring the drawing to a state where we personally love it. It has most effect on us. The beauty, the sense of beauty and satisfaction which we create for ourselves, this image is creating the desired changes. Ah, yes. Okay, I also have some here. Giving out. Fading out the colors a little bit is also nice. Giving out, overlapping with my own withdrawal space here. but not endangering it. So this is my heart of the drawing, maybe kind of everything was collected and then moved towards the solution. Very nice. Looking forward to see your drawings, preferably in this Facebook group or as a link down here using a software called Imgur. I will put that link in the bio, because you can transform your drawing into a link and then you can post the link. You cannot directly post the drawing, unfortunately, for I don't know what reason, for any reason, for some reason. Yeah, style is also nice because you will just busy yourself more with your creation here. And I have the resource here now. Courage. Yeah, I recommend busying yourself with style step. And although I personally thought that I wouldn't need it, and I might not have necessarily needed it urgently, but it is adding to my result. It is even coming to that really last step where I feel 100% I did everything what needs to be done, what I can do, what I want to do for my drawing. I'm able, capable to create my reality as I want to see it. This is one of the messages we give our brain here while doing that. Brownish, where's my brownish here? Consistency, good quality, if not misused. I just realized that consistency is misused if you are not willing to apply the necessary changes. So if you know that you're studying something which is not right for you and you stick to your consistency, then you're actually misusing it as an excuse not to bring about the necessary change. Interesting, interesting, interesting thought for me. So this is so much nicer now. And here, even here. I feel quite content. And I love this blue, just the right. And I love that this is my fixing shape now on this drawing. And I will also have some shading for my new whole figure which appeared here from my resources, from the causes which I used as energy resources by transforming them. Oh yeah, this looks like beautifully nicely belonging together here as well. Have some beauty here. So now I want to show you how that looks. That's how far I got at the moment. So I hope you like your drawings and you brought it to a state of satisfaction as well as I did. If you're not done at this point, it doesn't matter. Keep on working on that. Finish it off. And now we're going to explore what it did, like to make it visible for our brain. And we will be writing at the back, again, words in 2 minutes, any kind of associations which we have now after drawing. Not limited to the topic anymore. Write it down, figure, check it out, what happened after the drawing now. So let's do it. So I have a lot of joy. 3 times, 4 times I wrote joy. Grounded, this moment, valuable, able, overflowing, full heart, fearless, no danger, love for people, create, satisfaction, share, move, giving out, guided, competent, energy, focus. Yes! Yes! So I hope this drawing is as valuable to you as it is for me. I can already feel what it does. I'm looking forward to experience the results and to see them in my life, in my behavior, in my thoughts. And it feels wonderful. So, hope you feel the same. Thank you for watching. Thank you for drawing with me. It's a pleasure to share these invaluable tools with you. And leave a comment, please, what it does to you. I am so curious. See you next time.